since stepping into the spotlight at age 8, being known for films like True Grit, Ender's Game and more, building a career in acting, and something that not many knew at the time is that behind the scenes, Hailee was also trying to find the right opportunity to venture into music, something that she had always loved to do as well. A fun fact that she shared while promoting Pitch Perfect 2 in 2015. And the reason why this came into discussion is because she made her singing debut with her version of Flashlight for the film. On October 21st, the same month that Pitch Perfect 2 was released, it was announced that Hailee had signed a deal with Republic Records, with reports saying that Hailee had already begun working on her debut album. Then the next month, on June 5th, Billboard released an interview they did with Hailee in late May during the premiere of her latest film, Barely Lethal, where they asked her how long she had been wanting to release music, which she responded saying, "I started recording a couple of years ago of a close friend of mine. It's always been a passion of mine that really only recently I had the opportunity to do something with 110%. But it is something that I started a couple of years ago with the hopes of it ending up near to where it is right now, which is why I'm really excited to sign with Republic. It's just an insane process. It's all very exciting." So how the deal came to be based on what Hailee told Billboard, this happened before Pitch Perfect 2 was even released. It was during when she and her mom went to an event in New York where they ended up sitting with Charlie Walk from Republic, and it was after that her mom had a conversation with him that she encouraged Hailee to connect with him, which they got along really well, and Hailee even showed him some of her music. And after a while with keeping in touch, having meetings, eventually it led to a deal, beginning her journey into the music industry and recording for about 3 months. In the interview, Billboard also asked Hailee how soon will they be able to hear new music. She said that her new single was finished last night, titled Love Myself, that will be coming in the summer. Then in July, when Hailee was preparing for her upcoming debut single, a music video was filmed in July 22nd. Then a few days later, Hailee shared a snippet as well as the single artwork to Love Myself and the release date set for August 7th, which Love Myself is a dance electro-pop song that peaked at number 30 on the US Billboard Hot 100 charts. So she basically said it was about taking care of yourself, and though it is nice for someone to provide for you, whether that be emotionally, physically, or material things, this song just really represented the power in providing for yourself. And yes, it was mentioned about, or at least in another interview, about masturbation. And I did not know about this. Yeah, that is a form of self-love. It just wasn't in the way that I was thinking when I heard this song. I just didn't realize it then. But yeah, what did you think? When you first heard this song, did you realize that it was about that? So the music video was released a few days later after the song on August 14, directed by Hannah Locks Davis, who also directed 7 Rings by Ariana Grande, Good Things by Charlie XCX, Nightmare by Halsey, and more. So the music video was filmed in New York. It showed people near a mirror that had Love Myself on it, where you got to see them dance, being free, which Hailee would join in some of the scenes, giving the overall message of self-love and confidence. So before August had even ended, there was a collaboration between Hailee and Hudson Thames that was released on August 21st, titled How I Want Ya, that was included on Hudson's EP. Now, as 2015 continued on, while recording, promoting, and performing, Hailee also continued to take on new acting roles, maintaining a presence in both things. In the beginning of November, after some time had passed since Love Myself was released, Hailee announced her debut EP, Haiz, set to release on November 13, a 4-track EP that included Love Myself, along with 3 other new songs, You're Such a, Rock Bottom, and Hell Knows, and Headphones. On the day of its release, when explaining why she named her EP Haiz to Rolling Stone, Hailee explained that Haiz was a nickname that her fans started to call her for a while, so by naming it Haiz, she felt that it would be like they named it. As the Haiz era continued in 2016, Rock Bottom was picked as the second single, but instead of releasing the solo version that was on the EP, a remix featuring DNCE was released on February 26th. Then on March 25th, the music video was released, directed by Malia James, who also directed Youth by Troye Sivan, Ghost by Halsey, and more. So the video showcased Hailee in a relationship, just going through the ups and downs, And though it seemed that their relationship was gonna end towards the end of the video, they do make up. When speaking to people how the collaboration happened, Hailee said, "Joe and I were working with the same team of writers and producers around the same time as we were working on our EPs, and we would see each other when one of us was leaving. I guess he heard Rock Bottom in passing and cut a verse on it. And it turned out to be the best thing that happened to the song. It felt like there was a real story told between two people, and that's exactly what I saw when I would hear this song." So meanwhile, as time was passing from promoting this song and performing it, 2 new collaborations featuring Hailee were released: Fragile by Prince Fox on May 6th, and then there was Starving with Zedd and Gray released in July. Starving was a big success. It peaked at number 12 on the US Billboard Hot 100 charts. The music video was released on September 27th, directed by Darren Craig, known for directing Empire by Shakira, Sirens by Cher Lloyd, Crazy Kids by Kesha, and more. So when it came to this video, it featured Hailee in various scenes wearing different outfits, and there was also some added choreography between Hailee and the dancers. On October 17, Hailee mentioned working on the album in a tweet that read, "Your girl is back in the studio, working on that album she's been talking about forever." Now, the following year in 2017, 2 new collaborations featuring Hailee were dropped, one of them being Digital Love with Digital Farm Animals that was released in February, a tongue-in-cheek type of song that reflected people's dating life, and then the other one being a self-empowered song titled At My Best with Machine Gun Kelly that was released the next month on March 17, which peaked at number 60 on the US Billboard Hot 100 charts. The song also had a music video that was out on April 21st, directed by Hannah Lux Davis. But before the month even came to an end, on April 28th, Hailee released her new single Most Girls, which peaked at number 58 on the US Billboard Hot 100 charts, a pop woman-empowered song about celebrating women, which is expressed throughout the music video that was also directed by Hannah Lux Davis. So around this time when this song was released, there were sources saying that this was the lead to Hailee's upcoming debut album, and it was going to be set to release later in the year. Meanwhile, as time was passing, besides news of Hailee being in the new Transformers movie, the release of the Pitch Perfect 3 trailer which she was in, as well as attending different events such as the 2017 MTV VMAs on August 27th, in the beginning of September, 2 new songs with Hailee were released, those being the Plot Twist remix with Marky Basie and Let Me Go by Alesso and Hailee Steinfeld featuring Florida Georgia Line and Watt, which did peak at number 40 on the US Billboard Hot 100 charts. The music video was released on November 17, directed by Emmy Nava, who also directed On My Mind by Ali Goulding, Don't Say Love by Leanne, and more. When it came to the album, it seemed like those plans were cancelled yet again, but before 2017 even ended, during an interview with Teen Vogue that was published on November 14, Hailee reassured to fans that more music was indeed coming, as well as new collaboration in the coming year, which she did begin 2018 doing when she first started teasing a new song called Capital Letters that would be a part of the 50 Shades Freed soundtrack, and the song ended up releasing 2 days after on Friday, January 12th, a love pop song that Hailee worked on with producer Blood Pop. As for the music video, it was released on January 31st, directed by Hannah Lux Davis, that featured Hailee in a romantic visual. Now, as for later that month, when attending the 2018 Grammy Awards during an interview with Ryan Seacrest on January 28th, when speaking about going on tour with Charlie Puth and focusing on music currently, she hinted about new music being on tour as well as plans to release an album later in the year. Then on March 2nd, Hailee continued to tease new music, but this time she did it with an Instagram post that had a photo of her in the studio, and there was also a caption that read, "It's coming, thank you for being so patient." Fast forward to May 1st, when a fan asked Hailee if new music would be coming before the tour, she responded saying yes, which led to a new song that was released the next month on June 1st, which was a duet with her and MNEK titled Color. And of course, you can't forget that she was in the new Transformers movie, Bumblebee. She also dropped a new song for the soundtrack titled Back to Life. Unfortunately, while Hailee did say an album will be coming out later in the year, it seemed that wasn't gonna happen after all, with 2018 coming to an end. But before the year did close, on Thursday, December 20th, during an interview with SiriusXM Hits 1, Hailee did address it, saying that once she was finished working on the TV show Dickinson that was with Apple, which would be done around January, she would just take a few months to just focus on music.
If we want to call it an album, we can call it an album.
Okay.
But it's in the works.
Okay.
Then on January 21st, 2019, to begin the year, a remix version of Woke Up Late by Drax Project featuring Hailee Steinfeld was released. A few months later, on July 15, to celebrate Starving's 3rd anniversary, Hailee posted a tweet teasing new music coming soon, with her teasing that continue on August 26th, when Hailee spoke with Entertainment Tonight at the 2019 MTV VMAs, where she talked about getting ready to drop new music soon that was more honest, and it was also inspired by her character Emily on the upcoming Apple series Dickinson, which turns out, besides the show inspiring the new music, she also did record a new song for the show relating to her character, titled Afterlife, which she revealed on Twitter on September 14th that was set to release on Thursday, which was a pop song with a music video that was released on September 30th, directed by Hannah Lux Davis. So for the remainder of October and the remainder of the year, Hailee continued to do promo for Dickinson, and while nothing else was released, at least music-wise, she did say in some interviews that something new would be coming the next year. And just before the year did end, on December 29th, she did post a photo on Instagram with words that read, "Wrong Direction," and the caption that she left had the date for January 1st, 2020, which fans suspected online that this song could possibly be about Hailee's ex-boyfriend, Niall Horan, who was a part of One Direction. So when the song was released, hearing the lyrics, it seemed to suggest that Hailee was cheated on, which caused even more conversation around it. The music video dropped a few days later after that, directed by Alexander Morse. The video showed Hailee in a vulnerable state, and in the post that she did leave fans to know when the music video was released, she left a message saying that she hoped fans loved it, and knowing that we all had gone through hard times, she just wanted people to remember that you're not alone. She also ended her message with gratitude to fans and how grateful she was to be able to grow from these experiences together. So the following month in February, Hailee taped her appearance on the late night show with Stephen Colbert, singing Wrong Direction for the first time, which Hailee shared to fans on Twitter that it was harder than expected since she felt like her heart was stopped when she started to sing. Fast forward to March 26, after 3 days of teasing a new single titled I Love Yous that was officially released, the lead single to Hailee's 2-part project, set to release on May 1st, including both I Love Yous and Wrong Direction. Besides the song sampling No More I Love Yous by Annie Lennox, at the end of the month, on March 31st, the music video was released. It was directed by Sarah McColgan and Hailee Steinfeld. So as for what the song meant to Hailee, she did leave a statement that read, "After going through a breakup, I decided I needed time to focus on myself and heal without the distractions of another relationship. There's something really empowering about deciding what's best for you and putting yourself first. That's what this record is about." So at this point, fans, and it was already promoted that the project was gonna come out on May 1st, but then on April 4th, Hailee posted a video on Instagram letting fans know that she was gonna delay it to May 8th.
Hey my loves, so I am delaying the release of the project by 1 week, only a week, okay? I needed a little extra time to get things perfect for you guys. That being said, thank you so much for being so patient. May 8th, the countdown begins now, people. I love you guys. Can't wait for you to hear it.
A few days later, on April 27, Hailee shared the title of the EP, Half-Written Story, as well as the artwork that had a torn up doll. She also revealed the 5-song track list that had new songs like Your Name Hurts, End This, parentheses LOVE, and Man Up. However, something else did happen after this post was posted regarding Hailee's label, Republic Records, when they left a comment with 3 black hearts, which Hailee responded calling the label out for not promoting the EP. And then it was after that, a few hours later, they started to promote the album on their Instagram account, which fans did fill the comments with a lot of support for Hailee. And another thing that also happened is that this wasn't the first time that there was a delay. When asked about it in an interview Hailee gave with Entertainment Tonight, released on May 23rd, she revealed that the EP had been pushed back more than once.
Yeah, well, it actually had been, pushed for more than that, unbeknownst to my fans. Obviously, putting the project together and then releasing it, definitely had mixed feelings about the timing of things.
So the reason why Hailee decided to make this a 2-part project instead of one, she explained this during an interview on the Zach Saint show that premiered on May 8th when asked why she decided to go in this direction.
When I had these tracks, I was like, listen, I don't want to wait any longer. And as I continue working towards the bigger body of work and that album, which is my ultimate goal, of course, I want to put music out and I want to put these songs out that I love and am proud of and feel connected to. So that's sort of, how that happened.
Unfortunately, even though it looked like the full debut album might finally actually be happening this summer, with part 2 being mentioned in interviews that Hailee gave, which she was still writing some songs to it, nothing else was released besides a collaboration she did titled Masterpiece that dropped in May. And after that, while Hailee did continue to be in the spotlight doing acting, music was rarely mentioned besides maybe one interview that I could find that she did towards the end of 2021 on the Kelly Clarkson show where she teased that new music was almost done.
I finally feel like I have the time to get this right and to tell this story the way I want to, sonically, lyrically, and I'm very excited about this music that I've been working on. The project's almost done.
And after that, it wouldn't be until 2022 and 2023 when Hailee released 2 new singles, Coast and Sun Kissing. However, no word on the album, which fast forward to August 2024, when Hailee launched a weekly newsletter for fans to keep in touch with her on updates and more. It was titled Beauty Society, and on the first issue that she put out, she actually explained what she would do if she wasn't acting anymore or she couldn't act after the SAG strike that happened, putting many actors on temporary hold. Maybe I'll make more music, I thought, but as many of you have likely guessed, I have decided to take a break from that as I found I was losing myself trying to chase that viral moment versus really creating, connecting, and growing. Music is so personal to me and it just didn't feel personal anymore. It broke my heart a little, but the more I think about it and write about it, I know that closing that door for now was the right decision because it opened the creative space for me to start conceptualizing Beauty Society. I've never been more excited about a project in my life. Now, after 2 years of not releasing anything, now being in the year of 2025 in a new film, Sinners, Hailee released a new song for this movie soundtrack titled Dangerous, a song that she really loved, and based on interviews that Hailee did give when speaking about this song, she did say that it reunited the spark that she lost. So I have a theory as to why Hailee never released that debut album, and I think it has to do with Republic Records, because when you go back to 2015 when Love Myself came out and it did pretty well for a debut single, even then she was already, or at least there were reports saying that she was releasing an album, and she even talked about being in the studio a lot. And then she released Rock Bottom, which justice to that song because that song was great. She released Starving and Let Me Go, which did really well, especially Starving. So you would think at that point they would decide, okay, it's time to release the album, put Love Myself, put Starving, put Let Me Go. It's great, like it works, because we've seen artists that they have hits and maybe like 2 years later or a year later or however long it is, they will put those songs on the album. If it makes sense with that era, they will put those hit songs onto there, and it's for marketing, right? Like it just helps because when you see a song that you're familiar with on an album and maybe you're not too familiar with the artist, or maybe someone's like, oh, I remember them, oh, I like that song, maybe I should check out the album, right? So I think that's another good way to do it. that's how I see it. I don't know why they didn't do it then. Something else to know is that back in 2022 in April, she did announce that Coast was gonna come out, but then after that, things went silent, and it wouldn't be until July 20th that she started to, well, she tweeted about the song that it was gonna come out. And around this time, a fan did ask her, like, why was there a delay? Why did you not talk about the song earlier? I mean, release the song earlier. Which she responded saying, I know, not at all my intention ever. Wasn't my call, and it was definitely too soon. Also, when Coast was gonna be released, it was also reported by Film Updates that there was gonna be an upcoming album, which Hailee did tell people how excited she was for this new era and that this song was a taste of what was to come, further saying, it is absolutely going to represent a new era. I've been living with what I've been working on for years now, a couple of years, which I really do feel I needed in order to get to where I'm at with the music. And though it is rather frustrating, I have the most patient fans. I don't know how, but I got so lucky. And again, this is just a guess. She never confirmed that it was Republic that had postponed the album or anything. She's never said anything. She just said that she lost the spark. And also, she talked about in an interview that she needed to take some time back so she can figure out what she really wanted to, I guess, like her sound, and just kind of figure out who she is as an artist. And not only that, remember when I talked about that EP Half Written Story, she called them out and say, hey, so you're gonna promote this now? And they did a few hours later. So that's why I'm like, it has to be Republic. And it's not the first time we've seen this happen, because it happened to Coco Jones when she was supposed to release a debut album much sooner, but that didn't happen. And then of course we heard the stories of, like, you know, Tinashe and Ray. Like, there's been so many other artists that have talked about this, that their music that they were ready to be, you know, it was ready to be released, it got shelved and they couldn't release it because they don't own that music because of the contract that they signed. Oh, you know, another thing I wanted to point out, I think the reason why she lost her spark and her love for music was because the label was pressuring her to hit a certain number. You know, when you're signed to a label, you have to compromise a lot, and it probably just got so overwhelming that she just decided, you know what, I need to step back. I'm not even enjoying this anymore, and yeah, I need time to just, you know, focus on my acting. While I'm doing that, maybe something will spark my love for music again, because I can't do this anymore. At least, you know, at least that's how I'm seeing it. That's just my take on that, or what I think may have happened. Also, before I stop, justice to capital letters. That song should have been bigger. Who knows when she'll release the debut album? I think she will one day. So do you think it is possible that it is Republic's fault as to why Hailee didn't release a debut album much sooner? And also, what are your top 3 favorite Hailee Steinfeld songs, which you can say down below in the comments. If you did like the video, do leave a like and also subscribe for more pop music and other content. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you later.